Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing a video that will explain how I do team building. Basically this just gets you all the way up to ace or veteran rank, and then after that you need to focus on more high level skills. But team building is one of the things that will allow you to get consistent gameplay, learning how to build your team and how your team works, and the hosts in your team will help you basically get wins and know your matchups better. Okay, so before I start, for those of you who don't know, this is a website called PvP Poke. I'm basically showing you the screen, and I'm going to take you through how I do the team building process, and then how certain teams work, and why you do what you do. Okay, and I'm going to show you maybe one or two examples as well. So let's start with the normal Great League first. Okay, so in the Open Great League, I think if you guys do watch my videos, the team that I use is actually Dugong, Drapion, and Shadow Palkia. Okay, so let's talk about some of the weaknesses of the team. This team is weak to very hard-hitting fast moves. Um, depending depending on depending on whatever is in whatever Pokemon that you're using. Let's say Shadow Palkia, it's weak, super weak to Charm. I think three Charms will take it out from Wigglytuff, from Gardevoir. For Drapion, the fast moves that will take it out will be Shadow Marowak, Shadow Kanto Marowak, the Mud Slaps, Gastrodon, Mud Slaps. And for Dugong, I think the hardest fast move that you can take, I think, is Counter from Shadow Annihilate. Shadow Annihilate, maybe electric move like Thunder Shock, but it doesn't do very heavy damage as well. Or Volt Switch Charger Bug. So this team, how are we going to be playing? Okay, so since we are being threatened by fast moves, we got to take down the shields, or at least put energy advantage into our backline, so that we have the chance to use our charge moves instead of relying on our fast moves. Because if you realize that Shadow Palkia, besides Shadow Palkia with the very heavy hitting Dragon Breath, Poison Sting not very heavy hitting, Ice Shot on Dugong not very heavy hitting unless you are like a flyer or like a double weak to ice. Other than that, it's not heavy hitting. So how do we play a team like this? This team basically is like you got to start off with Dugong. You have to, depending on the lead, and it doesn't matter what the lead is, you have to stay in no matter what, unless it's a fully hard counter and you have the other two options at the back, Drapion or Shadow Palkia are better. Otherwise, you stay in. If you see a grass type, normally you can still hit it with Ice Shard and Icy Wind for super effective, like let's say Jump Bluff, yeah, super effective, double super effective on Jump Bluff. If it's Superior, you can still face Superior. You can, as a Dugong, you can take one Frenzy Plant and still be within the yellow range, and then you can still find Icy Wind, which will take out at least 50% of the health along with the Ice Shards. And Drapion will be your safe swap only if you see a very hard counter. For example, Shadow Annihilate, for example, Primate. Drapion will be your safe swap, and it will act as a in a Drapion situation, you gotta think whether you need to use a shield or not. The whole aim of this team is basically to get up a shield when you are in Palkia form. So when you reach the point where you need to have Shadow Palkia, you need to be number one, up shield, and number two, up energy, which is where Dugong and Drapion come in when they are not able to kill or take out their direct opponent in the lead or in the safe swap. Palkia is there to come in to farm down the opponent and then use that farm in transition to the next battle, which is where the opponent will be forced to shield. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you examples of the Shadow Palkia one. if I can find the correct video. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Okay, we have I'm going to silence the volume so that I can just explain as I go. But I think if you guys have watched my videos, you can already know that what I'm going to do. So just remember, we're staying in with Dugong, and then we're going to give Palkia the farm advantage. Okay, so see, this is a good lead. Dugong into Feraligatr. Feraligatr cannot threaten with Hydro Cannons. So we're going to farm. Make sure we farm. Okay, I'm going to speed up a bit. Let's speed this up to 1.5. Okay, so Hydro Cannon coming in. We resist everything. We're not going to shield. We're just going to Icy Wind down. Debuff them. Good. Okay, they come out with Typhlosion, which is where now I need to come in with Shadow Palkia. So in this situation, the good thing is he threw out, he basically lost his advantage because he threw out a Pokemon that is weak to Palkia, and that's where you come in as Palkia to use your shields to farm down the entire Typhlosion. So now we have over farmed a little bit on the Aqua Tail, and that's where we can put pressure onto the lead Pokemon. Because the lead Pokemon is or the backline in this case, lead Pokemon was Feraligatr, so we can double Aqua Tail, and this will threaten to knock out the Annihilate. So he uses two shields here, so I'm very happy to take down for him to take out Palkia, because now he has no shields. And then I'm going to come with Drapion, which is a direct counter to Annihilate. If he decides to switch into Feraligatr, no issue, right? Yeah, here you on the Rage Phase. I can simply go Aqua Tail, and I'm expecting Feraligatr to come out at some point, and that's where he came out. Yeah. Okay, so this team, even though it's a good lead, but you still got to find your winning conditions, which is once you get Shadow Palkia in a position where it can farm, do a lot of damage, and take down the safe swap of your opponent, yeah, then it will thrive for you. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this video. It's gonna be a lot of good leads. So I'm trying to find one where let's find one where it's a bad lead. Okay, this is also a good lead. Okay, Azumarill, yeah, another, I would say a pretty good lead scenario. No, okay, let's skip this one. I don't think. Okay, Cactus is also a pretty good scenario. As long as I have to force the opponent to switch out, it's a good scenario. Okay, now let's go to another video. Let's see. Let's see this one. See if we can find like a proper video to. Is this the same video? Okay, this video. Yeah, so now we have sort of a bad lead because Dugong now everything is resisted. Okay, but I cannot swap into anything because this is not my win condition. I need to find a situation where I can farm down something. So what I'm gonna do is just keep firing icy winds onto the Mantine. Um, okay, let's speed this video up a bit. Yeah, there we go. Keep on firing icy winds at the correct timing. It's 2 moves of wing attack to 3 moves of ice shard. Yeah, so here the opponent makes a mistake. If he keeps going on with his hard hitting move, he will win. But Dugong so tanky. Yeah. Okay, here's where it's a bit tricky. So Skeleton is something with a very hard hitting fast move, which is Incinerate. Although Shadow Palkia is resistant, but it still takes a lot of damage from the Incinerate, which is where Drapion comes in. I'm going to try and use a shield here because I want to put pressure onto whatever's at the back. And this is where I found the win opportunity for this team because Clodsire does very, very little fast move damage with the poison stings. It charges very fast to 12 turns to such bomb, but it does very, very slow poison stings. So this is where the win con basically happens because I'm going to just keep pressuring with the Aqua Tail. And unfortunately, he didn't go for an Earthquake, which is why I think in this video I did mention, if he just went for the Earthquake, it would have been so much easier for him to take out Drapion. But he decided to bait. So, which gives me now even more opportunity for me to come in and continue to pressure the Clodsire. But if he did find the Earthquake, my win con was then to come in with Palkia to farm down the Clodsire and then have a move Aqua Tail for the Skeleton as well. Okay, so that's actually for this analysis for this team. I'm not going to go very deep into it because it's a very simple team. Okay, so that's it for the first part of team building. How I use the strategy. Now I'm going to talk about the team building for the Scroll Cup. Okay, which is where I will go more and deeper into how we team build for Scroll Cup. Okay, so for Scroll Cup, right? Firstly, we take a look at the 3 typings. We have water, we have dark, and we have fighting. These 3 typings, what is the most dominant type? I think is the water type. Water type, we are water type is it's not weak to anything. It's not weak to fighting. It's not weak to dark. So they need a secondary typing to defeat water. Now, this is where the second most dominant type comes in, which is Annihilate. Now, fighters in this meta is very, very strong because there's not very much direct counters. Psychic is not in. Flying is not directly in. So you need to pair flying and psychic with something that is within the meta. So like, let's say for flying, maybe you pair with a water type like Mantine. That gives you a very good option. So Mantine is quite safe into this meta because there's not much electric types and you resist almost everything except for electric types, which is double weakness. But the only electric type maybe is Morpeko and Lantern that can really threaten you. Okay, so and then these 2 are also being countered by the Mud Boys, and there's also many Mud Boys: Quagsire, Gastrodon, Swampert, Whiscash. All these are usable in this meta as well. So Mantine is actually a pretty good safe swap, I would say. Okay, knowing that, my playstyle, however, is slightly different. I like to use the lead as someone that can stay in and do a lot of pressure at the start, just like how I showed you with Dugong. Now the difference here is I don't have a Dugong. Dugong is eligible in this meta, but I don't have a Dugong type of Pokemon here. So I switched it to Shadow Annihilate. What's good about Shadow Annihilate? Now, there's not many Pokemon with the fast move pressure of Charm in this meta. And those that have are either neutrally weak to the rest of the other meta, like let's say Brione, Primarina is banned, right? So Brione is the next best thing. Brione can do charm, but it also takes very neutral damage from counter from Shadow Annihilate. So that gives me the advantage. The other two things that can do charm are Shadow Gallade and Meowscarada. These two also take super effective damage from. Sorry, Meowscarada takes super effective damage from the counters. Shadow Gallade takes super effective damage from flying types. So things like Mandibuzz and Moltres, they are doing super effective to each other. Charm is towards the dark types, and Mandibuzz and Moltres are the wing attack, aerial ace, and air slash towards the Shadow Gallade. So it's like a balanced thing. Okay, so how do I build the team? So let's start with the analysis of this team. Okay, I needed something to cover the psychic weakness of Shadow Annihilate because I was afraid of Malamar and the Gallade Psycho cut. That was what I was assuming previously, but I think now Gallade is better to charm. And then so I went with Galarian Moltres. I could have gone with Mandibuzz, but I feel like Mandibuzz doesn't do a lot of heavy hitting damage, which is why I went for Galarian Moltres. And Galarian Moltres beats Mandibuzz as long as it's on even shield scenarios. Then the last Pokemon I went with was at first Morpeko, but then I realized I was triple weak to Charm, so then I went with Gastrodon. Now, Gastrodon is more like it's not a safe swap. It's more like a neutral play. So whenever I feel like Gastrodon can enter the battle, I will throw it into the battle. Because I'm very scared of the grass type. And the reason why I throw Gastrodon in is so that I can try and bait out the grass type so that Galarian Moltres has a chance to farm down. Now this team, if you notice that Galarian Moltres actually paces very, very slow. So the team composition is actually comprised of Pokemon with very, very slow pacing. Another is 6. Gastrodon, the first strong hitting is 6 Mud Slaps, which is 18 turns. And Galarian Moltres, the first maybe neutral ancient power is even 14 turns. So everything is 12 and above. So what is good about this team? This team is only good when you win alignment or you win switch advantage. Sorry, alignment or shield advantage. When you lose alignment, this team is gone. That means if you lose alignment and if you lose shield advantage, it's gone. You cannot work on energy advantage because in the scroll cup it's very easy to get countered or very easy to get resisted in terms of energy. So you need to either win switch advantage for this team or you need to win shield advantage for this team. Okay, so I'm gonna explain in detail. So let's see this first video that I have here. Okay, this is a very simple example. Okay, wait, I'm gonna slow this down so that I can talk a little bit. Oh, it's normal playback speed. No, this is fast. Oh, okay. I sped it up. Okay, let's go it down to 0.5. Okay, Annihilate into Buried. Oh, that's too slow. My bad. Let's bring it to 720. And 0.75. Let's move it back a little bit. Okay, we have Annihilate into Brione. Now, Brione is basically a charmer, right? So Annihilate is weak. I can't switch out. The moment I switch out, it's gone for this team. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put pressure onto the Brione with Rage Fist. Now, this, if he doesn't shield, it takes him out. Really, it takes him out with Shadow Annihilate. And this is where I put Gastrodon in. Okay. So if you see the counter swap of Mandibuzz and then into Moltres, this is where I think it gives my opponent a question because I come in with Gastrodon, they want to preserve the Brione, they come in with Mandibuzz, and then I come in with a Galarian Moltres to counter with the Ancient Power. Now, so this is where this team is supposed to shine because now I'm up on shield, I can easily farm more on Galarian Moltres. It doesn't matter what Mandibuzz does, everything is resisted. So I can basically farm a lot onto the Ancient Power, and that's where this team shines. When I get a chance to get extra energy on Galarian Moltres, I take it and use it to where I need it the most. And this is where this is why I talk about shields, because the fast move pressure from Gastrodon, the moment I have shields, everything just comes into play. Yeah, and Earth Power is gonna kill Toxapex. Okay. Maybe I'll show you another example. Okay, another example, we have Annihilate into Annihilate. Very common scenario, but the only problem is my Annihilate is, no, the only good thing that my Annihilate is higher on CMP. So he decided to catch on Mandibuzz. And this is where you come in with Galarian Moltres, right? So this team specifically, you cannot safe swap out of Annihilate. Annihilate is your safe swap and your safest lead. So you need to play out the lead into whatever scenario it happens. If, let's say, the opponent decided to fire the Rage Fist, you have to shield, and then you just play out the 2 shield scenario, and in the end, you will just win the charge attack priority. So he has to swap out if you want to save Annihilate, so which is why he swapped out earlier. But given that he switches out, you get to switch lock him into an advantageous scenario, which is Galarian Moltres. And given that he's trying to save shields for Annihilate, right? So it doesn't matter what he does now. Even if he Ice Punch me, I can be taken out. So Galarian Moltres wing attack does a lot of pressure already, so I come in with Gastrodon. So why I come in Gastrodon is I want to try and draw something at the back, which is weak or strong, depending. Then come in with Annihilate once he fires off his Rage Fist. Yeah. So yeah, he's at a shield disadvantage right now. Sorry, he's at a shield advantage right now, and I'm at a almost at 2 Rage Fist, this is where I question. So he shielded. Yeah, I'm just gonna farm him down. Yeah. So for this team, you need to basically create farm down opportunities and not give in to the safe swap mechanic. After this, I'll show you guys another team where I do build a team based on the safe swap mechanic, and then how I play around with the safe swap mechanic as well. Okay, for each team that comes in that is being played in the Go Battle League, I think you have to play based on their strengths, and you cannot do. You need to understand, but basically the synergy between different Pokemon. Because if you don't understand that, then you'll just be doing things that will cause your team, that will cause your gameplay to be disadvantageous, and then this basically makes you get outplayed, even though you have a very strong team. Okay, so the weakness of this current team, basically, I just showed is you charge very long and you don't have a lot of fast move pressure. Sorry, you have a lot of fast move pressure, but you charge very long. And Galarian Moltres at the back charges super long, but it's only very hard hitting when it has Brave Bird and it can pressure shields. Other than that, you cannot use this team as any safe swap. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys another team, which is Gallade with Charm. And we have my favorite ice Pokemon, which is Dugong. Okay, okay, I was going to show the ratings just now, but no, I'm going to show the ratings for this team. So currently, if you look at PvP Poke, right, the new team that I have today, which I'll show the video later. Maybe I can move to it first. There we go. Okay, I'll set up the video first, but let's talk a little bit about no, this is still the Moltres one. Okay, perfect. Alright, let's talk about this team now. So this team, coverage is good, but the bulk and safety is very weak. So, but the attack damage is consistent. Okay, so let's talk about the main meta. So this team is pretty good into a lot of things, except for Jellicent and Malamar. Jellicent, I think I need to put Dugong onto it, and Malamar, I need Gallade onto it. Okay, and then the rest, these are your potential threats basically. But I'm not going to focus on this because whenever I create a team, I know this team can counter most things with the core. So how do we play this team? Okay, so this team, again, similarly, is also very long charging. Charm doesn't do a lot of energy like farming, so it takes, as you can see, 6 charms to get to the first leaf blade, which is 18 turns. Dugong is 5, 15 turns, and Annihilate is 6, 12 turns. So Annihilate is your fastest, which is why it's at the front. So how do you play this? This team is basically ABB weak to flyers like Mandibuzz and Moltres. It's also ABA strong to Morpeko. Morpeko is going to be weak to the Dugong. Sorry, Morpeko is going to be strong against Dugong, but weak against the other two. And these are the 2 targets that I'm going to aim. The rest are basically just neutral. So it's depending on where you put your Pokemon. So things like Toxapex is neutral because you need to basically outpace him. Then you can win. If you don't outpace him, then Toxapex is just a locking mechanism for you. What else? Yeah, I think that's basically it. Okay, so let's look at this video. So now, ABB, meaning that the moment I see a bad lead, this is a very good example, which is Mandibuzz, I instantly swap into one of my safer options, which is Dugong, and then I play out the scenario after that. Okay, so let's watch. Say swap into Dugong, right? We have Dugong into Mandibuzz. So somehow he's not switching out, so I'm not sure why. Maybe he wanted more energy. Yeah, and now he switches. So the ICU is going to be fired onto another Dugong. So this is where the win con happens. I need Gallade to be matched with the Dugong. And Gallade to be matched with the Mandibuzz and Annihilate onto this Dugong. So if he takes me out, I'm going to put Annihilate back in and put it against this Dugong. Now, the problem here is, no, not problem. The advantage here is he went for an IC win instead of a drill run first. So given that he caught my first IC win, we were on even energy, he should have gone for drill run all the way because IC win doesn't do anything to Dugong. So the whole play here is to keep going drill run. And if you see here, I'm just going straight drill run. It's gonna take him out faster than he takes me out. Yeah. So at this point, he's not even in a range to drill run me. So yeah, he went for an ICV, which is bad. So now coming Annihilate, I'm going to come in directly with Gallade. So now I'm going to pause the video here. So he's double weak to Charm, and then he has Dugong as well. So it's a similar team to mine, just that he's double weak to Charm. I'm also double weak to Charm, but I basically have him in switch lock, meaning that I forced him to give up switch because he doesn't want to give up the Dugong. I don't know why. Actually, he should have given up the Dugong and come in with Annihilate to farm onto the Dugong. Because he gave up switch, now I have the switch advantage. I use the switch advantage to basically farm up more on Gallade. I could have come in with Annihilate as well. Actually, it's also a good option. But I wanted Gallade onto something which did not threaten Gallade as much, which is why I came in with Gallade onto Annihilate. I was going to farm a lot more onto Annihilate and then pressure the Mandibuzz with my close combat. Later you'll see it's a bait, but basically pressure the Mandibuzz with the close combat because Mandibuzz, yeah, I'm just gonna play the videos. Yeah, because Mandibuzz is my only sort of threat. Okay, so yeah, gonna charm down the Annihilate. Now we have Gallade, pretty healthy, but Mandibuzz is gonna come back in. Yeah, and I'm just gonna instantly fire. Yeah. Oh no, I don't. I do some fast step pressure. Okay, so yeah, have to fire off the first leaf blade and then just keep going with the fast move. So he's being shredded by the charm, and now I have 2 against 2. Going for the catch because I know he's gonna fire the Aerial Ace onto Annihilate, so I let him fire on Dugong. Yeah, and that's basically the whole synergy of the team. So when we build a team, basically we gotta understand. Yeah, and here we win the Dugong. So when we build a team, we basically got to understand what is the whole flow of the team. The moment you lose the makings of the team, it's where it gives your opponent a chance to get an advantage and get back into the game. In the blind 3 Go Battle League scenario, the moment you give up switch advantage, you need to make sure that your safe swap is good enough to win back switch, or at least good enough to pressure shields. If it's not, uh, sorry, your safe swap has to be good enough to win back switch advantage, pressure shields, or have very good fast move such that even with the counter swap you can still do a lot of damage. But fast move damage is not very effective as a safe swap, because once you safe swap into something that has a very strong fast move, most likely your opponent will switch lock you into something that resists the very strong fast move. So then it just basically gives him an advantage, because he can resist your heavy hitting fast move, but he can also farm extra onto his own fast move, onto his own charge move, which then just puts you in a very bad scenario. Okay, so yeah, that's basically how I build my team. I think if you guys want to give me some examples of Pokemon that you want to build your teams around, I can give you advice. And then yeah, do enjoy the Scroll Cup for these 2 weeks. That's it for today.